tech tree of Japanese tanks, apart from the semi-armor piercing rounds, there isn't a armor piercing high explosive rounds that has ballistic cap. And that means you don't like to pen angles and add-on armor.
The enemy has captured most of the strategic zones.
How did that happen? Hey guys, it's Jim here and welcome back to War Thunder. So, I kinda put off Japanese tank for a really long time, mainly because of one factor. And no, it's not the armor. I will explain it to you later. So, because of that one factor, I did say that I want to do Japanese tank, but I just wasn't feeling it. Until I met this thing. And this thing is a monster. Let's break it down. Now, first things first, if you have seen my Chiha shotgun video, yeah, this is basically the same tank. So, yeah, 25 millimeters all over, 25 millimeters all over. You can die to 50 cals, 20 mils, and whatnot. So, don't rely on this thing to bounce anything anytime soon. Unless, of course, they are dumb enough to shoot this. Or this. Now, moving on. Here's the selling point of the tank. This is the 47mm Type 1 cannon. And this is actually pretty terrifying at 2.0. Because you see, this is the shot that you'll be firing. 2.0, 77mm of penetration, which, as I have mentioned many times before, if you're thinking about low tier tank and the gun that whether it's good or not, my suggestion is at least minimally it has 60mm of pen at point blank. That is my cutoff point as the tank being a decent vehicle. Any lower than 60mm, not so great. 77mm, so yes, it's actually not bad. For a 47mm gun, 14 grams of explosive mass, that's not really a lot. And even though some might say, hey, you're playing low tier, so that means, tanks that you come across don't really have that kind of crew space. Well, yes, but actually no. There are some tanks that does actually survive. So my suggestion is try not to go for center mass. Try to go for direct crewman. So like, if you see a Panzer 4, you shoot around the driver section, so you get the driver and the gunner. Yeah. Instead of just a turret only. I really don't know what's going on here. And same thing for the steward. Shoot around the driver or machine gunner area instead of center mass. Yeah, you can easily one shot them that way. Now here's the part that actually kind of turned me off from Japanese tanks. Until they added the semi-armor piercing rounds, like what's with that? This is literally the normal shells. Like, right now I'm hovering my mouse over the shell, and as you can see, there's no upgraded shells to this thing. And throughout the entire tech tree of Japanese tanks, apart from the semi-armor piercing rounds, there isn't a armor piercing high explosive rounds that has ballistic cap. And that means you don't like to pen angles and add-on armor. So yeah, something to be very careful of when you're using Japanese tanks. But at least everything else about the gun is pretty much what makes this thing a incredibly terrifying vehicle to face. Now first off, ammo. You do have a lot of ammo, but I don't suggest carrying so many, because as you can see, you have a lot of ammo in your turret. So if you carry all the ammo, yeah, this is a explosive accident waiting to happen. The good news is, these are not first stage ammo. So that means if you carry less rounds, at most it's just down here. It's a little bit safer, so if they try to shoot your turret, they're not going to ammo rack you anytime soon. And the reloading rate. For a gun that shoots 77mm of penetration, armor piercing high explosive, that is actually pretty good. Every 4 seconds it's just a armor piercing high explosive rounds going out. Just one shotting. It's really insane. As well as gun depression, -15. That is actually pretty good. just find yourself a hold on position or whatever. Position yourself anywhere. There you go. You can just shoot over the cover, even if your tank is tilted in a weird way. And the last part is that this kind of caught me off guard. It has a gun stabilizer. If I'm not mistaken, it's around 9 kilometers an hour effective, but just having a gun stabilizer is already make this a very, very deadly vehicle. Any of you who have played these Stuart tanks or any of the early British tanks will know how much will this really affect your performance. Tank aside, joining us today is a plane that I kinda wish I had sooner, the B5N2. Why do I say that I wish I had this thing sooner? Well, its payload and the way it drops its bombs actually makes this thing a really, really good beginning to your ground RB strike aircraft. Now, first thing to note though, this is the type of aircraft where you just fly in, drop your payload, fly back to airbase immediately. Why? You don't have any armaments of any kind. Except for this guy back here. Be facing go 7.7 machine gun. And if I'll be honest, you're not gonna kill anybody with this thing, regardless of your round belt. Now here's the interesting part about this aircraft. You have this guy. What does it mean? This means you have the ability to actually use a bombsite. I'm not exactly sure how he is able to see it, but he can. So that means, not to mention, your bombs are outside. So it's pretty much like the Yonkers 88. Use a bomb sight and you can drop your bombs pretty damn accurately. And of course, what's the bomb type? You have, at the start you have 60 kilograms, which you can actually use at 2.0 and below. It's actually not too bad, but you have to land it rightly. The good news is, since you have a bomb sight, that's not gonna be a problem. And then we move on to different kinds of 250 kilograms. I'm not exactly sure what's going on here. Like why this 250 with less explosive mass, I can only guess it's like for ships. Yeah. But in ground RB, use this one. Use the one that has more explosive mass. And eventually, you'll get 800 kilograms, which means you can actually get multi-kills. But yeah, if you think one shell isn't really enough to do any real damage, then yeah, by all means, use the 250. There's really nothing wrong with that. Now, enough chit-chat. Let's take this thing out and destroy everything we look at.
We're ahead of the enemy. Attention to the map. 준비 완료. 발사 준비 완료. 진행 완료.射撃準備完了. A little more effort and victory will be ours. Enemy forces have captured a zone. Attention to the map.
Get out of here.
The enemy is winning.
Alright, who's over here?
Allied forces have captured a zone.
Hindi kinda so. Sorry, buddy.
Allied forces have captured a zone. Excuse me!
Thank you, awning.
Attention to the map. Allied forces have captured a zone.
Oh, someone's mad as hell. Oh yeah.
and victory will be ours.
Sorry, buddy. Nothing personal, but I really need to grind this thing. Yeah, I probably deserve that.
Enemy forces have captured a zone. Allied forces have captured a zone.
Drive safely, dude.
We've captured most of the strategic zones. Give them hell, boys!
Oh my god. Catch.
Most of the strategic zones are captured. We've captured most of the strategic zones.
Nothing personal.
Keep it up and victory will be ours.
Wee.
Allied forces have captured a zone.
Oof.
Repairing.
Thank you, fast reload.
Somebody, cover me!
Let's do that.
Attention to the designated grid zone.
Thank you, stabilizer.
We're ahead of the enemy. Allied forces have captured a zone.
Okay, move. Don't reverse that shot. This is just disgusting.
A little more effort and victory will be ours.
Dude, just drive. Oh man, this is so disgusting. Kill him, kill him, kill him!
Allied forces have captured a zone.
Oh, don't need accounts.